Good morning and welcome to this morning's reflection. We continue on our journey toward Christmas. And as we move toward Christmas, I have been struck by how poignant Christmas becomes as we age. This is my 63rd Christmas, and I can feel that. I feel the loss of friends and family in ways that I have never felt before. So I thought I would look at some of the difficulties we may face as we approach Christmas at this time of our lives. And this reflection is largely based on the work of Joan Chittister. So let's start by looking at regret. As you think about this Christmas, as you move towards this Christmas, do you feel a twinge of regret? As you approach the new year, do you hear regret whispering in your ear? Regret comes to us dressed up like wisdom. Regret comes looking profound and serious and sensible and responsible. And it makes us look back and begin to question everything we have ever done. You hear the voice that says, "Oh, you should have listened to your mother. Oh, you should have waited to get married. You should have changed jobs. You should have studied in a different field." This type of thinking can be exhausting, and it is also a dangerous exercise, for it nibbles at the edges of our minds and it makes us so tired. The years have slipped by, and now it's too late to make the changes that regret demands of us. And so regret becomes a trap, a frustrating trap, because we can't get rid of it. This looking back is in fact one of the most direct routes to depression known to us. We think, life's slipping away. What have I done with the time? And slowly, the past begins to demand more time and attention from us than the present. But this brooding attitude begins to taint the present, begins to make us see the present through smoky glasses. It takes the joy out of the present, and it takes the joy out of Advent and Christmas. It makes us judgmental of where we are in the present moment, because we think we should have done something different with our lives. And those thoughts of what could have been begin to eat away at our hearts, and life takes on a greyness that we've never known before. Regret claims to be insight, but rarely regret is an imposter. It is not spiritual insight because it denies the good of what has been. Regret creates a false life of what might have been out of gossamer and air, and then regrets the flesh and blood life that we are living here and now. It spends time on what was not, rather than what is. It tempts us to lust for what never was, rather than bringing energy to changing the present moment, to moving ahead in our lives with strength and determination. As we get older, we should become more comfortable with who we are, rather than mourn who we were not. When we regret, we doubt the God who made us and the God who walks with us day in and day out. Looking back can invite us to revisit the ideals and the motives that have brought us to where we are today. Looking back can remind us of the people we have loved, the commitments we have made, the choices we have made, and those things that have made us who we are today. The roads not taken may have done the same thing and resulted in the same person, but they may not have done as well. But what we can now see more clearly is the gift of the years, rather than simply focusing on what we didn't do or what we didn't achieve. But we do need to ask ourselves who we are and why we are who we are, and why we made certain choices, and why we didn't do the things we wanted to do. Those are good questions if we simply ask them for information, not with the voice of accusation, because these answers will tell us who we are. And unless we understand the value of the choices we have made, we will fail to see the gifts that they have brought us. The burden of regret is that unless we come to understand the value of the choices we have made in the past, we may fail to see the gifts that they have brought us. And the blessing of regret is clear. It brings us, if we are willing, to face head-on the point of being present to this new time of life in an entirely new way. It urges us to let go of the past and to grow into the future, continually becoming. So this Christmas, be present to it. Let go of the regrets that rob you of joy and of life and of light and of hope. But determine that you will live this Christmas present to it for what it can give you, making yourself open to the gift that God would give you during this Advent time. Amen.